Every frame you see, every sound you hear has a thought behind it, a decision, a setting, a story waiting to unfold. Today I'll take you behind the scenes of how I craft my motorcycle travel films, from the gear I use to the way I shoot, record sound and color my world in post. This is my workflow, tested on the road. Now let's start with the foundations. I use two cameras to get the onboard motorcycle POV. I use the DJI Action 5 Pro and also the DJI Action 4. One goes on the cockpit of the motorcycle facing towards me, and another one goes on the chin of the motorcycle helmet. So this is the mount that goes on the chin. This is a Django Designs helmet chin mount. It just clips, as you can see that it's a big clip. It goes onto the chin of your motorcycle helmet like so. The only caveat with these mount is that it does not work with your road helmets. There you go. This is the HJC FGST. One of these. It fits, but it does not stays properly. It just, only if you're using an off-road helmet or even an adventure helmet, you can use this mount. So the second cam, the B cam, actually goes on the motorcycle, and I install it on the cockpit. Right now I've installed the Aoshi C6 Pro on it, so that I probably would use this the stick that came with the DJI Action 5 Pro and mount it on the stick. Now I shoot only in 4K in all of these cameras, these two action cameras. Even on my phone I shoot only in 4K. That's pretty much the standard now, I guess. It doesn't really matter what brand of action camera you really use. It's just a matter of the UI. Everything stays the same. Since I have the DJI Action 5 Pro, I'm going to show you the settings I use on this particular camera. So the first thing what we're going to do here is to change the resolution to 4K. Along with that, what we're going to do here is to change the aspect ratio from 16:9 to 4:3. Why 4:3? Because 4:3 uses the full size of the sensor. What that allows us to do is to cut the video or rescale the video as per our liking. So if you want to post this on Instagram, you can just vertically rescale it, or if you wish to post this on YouTube, you can just rescale it. The FPS, I have set the FPS on 60, so it's either 30 or 60. I'm just going to keep it at 60, and we're going to move on. So this is the next setting that we have to change. I am going to keep this on wide setting, not the standard, not ultra wide. Ultra wide introduced that a little bit of that fisheye effect. We don't want that. Wide is the perfect setting for motorcycle travel, POV shots. And I'm just gonna put this on rock steady. Each manufacturer calls their stabilization technology differently. DJI calls it the rock steady, so we're gonna keep it at that. And then we're gonna go back, and what we're gonna do here is to press this button and turn this Pro setting on. That opens up a lot more options. We can manually set the exposure of the camera. So that's what we're gonna do now. See, to achieve a smooth motion blur, what we have to do is to follow the 180-degree rule. That's what it is called. You have to ideally keep the shutter speed double of the FPS. That is called the 180-degree rule. If you are keeping the FPS at 60, you ideally have to set the shutter speed at 120, or if you are keeping the FPS at 30, you ideally should keep the shutter speed at 60. Since we are doing 60 FPS on this, we have to set the shutter speed on 1/120th. So it's always double the value. So what it allows us to do is to achieve that smooth, buttery smooth motion blur, and with that motion blur you're also introducing that cinematic cinematic value, a cinematic look, right? We're gonna set the ISO also. I don't want to introduce a lot of noise, so that's good. 12,800, I guess the sensor can manage that, and we're gonna press confirm. And the next setting is the white balance. See, you really can set this white balance to auto, that's your choice, but I generally set this when you're outdoors 5,600, or when you're riding at night can be as low as 3,500. So that's gonna bring in that blue color. So the next one is actually color. This is the most important thing. We're gonna just press on that and change the colors from normal 8-bit. This is the default setting. We're gonna change that to the D-Log M 10-bit. So that's very, very, very important. And I normally keep the color recovery on. It just puts on a LUT, the gamma assist. When you are shooting on log format, the colors will be flat, almost like black and white, will be all washed out. So it'll be difficult for you to judge the colors, right? Judge the exposure, right? Your camera has that option, turn that on. And also in the noise reduction, texture adjustments, you can, this is my setting. I've brought down the textures -1 and also brought down the noise reduction to -2. So that's all that I did. That's all the settings that I have to do on the DJI Action 5 Pro to get the ideal results. Now let's keep this DJI Action 5 Pro aside and take the DJI Action 4. So I use the DJI Action 4 as a B cam, so in case if something goes wrong on the DJI Action 5 Pro, that's when the DJI Action 4 comes in. And also it's the plan B, always saves the story. So this is running on all standard default settings, except that I'll be changing the color profile from normal to D-Log. Except everything, all the same settings, I'm letting the camera, the Action 4, to decide the shutter speed. So that also means that I don't have to use an ND filter on this. So yes, you won't be getting the smooth motion blur, but that's okay. That's okay. This is just my B cam. This camera is there to save my footage. Don't judge me if I'm not wearing any gear, okay? I'm just going around the block and it's for you I'm doing it. So I've mounted the DJI Action 5 Pro on my helmet chin, as you can see, and the Action 4 is mounted on the Action stick, or whatever this thing is called. So this DJI Action 5 Pro is running in the settings that we set it at before leaving home. The DJI Action 4, which is this guy right here, is in the default setting, except the D-Log. You would have already noticed the DJI Action 5 Pro is a little overexposed. So that is a problem you will run into when you are running these settings, right? When you are following the 180-degree rule, and when you want to get that smooth motion blur, the issue is that you can't really adjust. There is no aperture adjustment to adjust the light on these small action cameras. So what we'll be forced to do is to install these are your ND filters. This is the Freewell standard pack, Freewell ND filters that I'm using on these action cameras. Pretty nice. I love them. I've used it on almost all of my other devices. My main camera as well, I use Freewell stuff, and also on my drone I use Freewell stuff, and also on these action cameras I'm also using these Freewell ND filters. What these are, this is the Freewell ND filters. What this does is that these are sunglasses for your action camera. So this will cut the light. So I'm going to use the ND8 filter here, and I'm just gonna screw it. Have you seen any difference? I guess the exposure is properly set. I cannot see this on the screen, of course. I'm not able to see anything here, but I guess now the exposure is proper now. So this, you have to set the ND filters, you have to install the ND filters according to the light. If the sunlight is harsh, and if you're riding afternoon and all of that, you have to cut down a lot more light. So these are like pretty high quality ND filters. You can use, you probably never will have to use the ND64 unless it's like that bright. Otherwise you can use the ND filter like I use here on this, or you can use the ND16 if the light is a little more harsher and it's like bright sunlight, or you can use the ND32 as well. The maximum I went was the ND32. I've never actually used the ND64 anywhere. So yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna put this in, and I'm just gonna show you how it'll look like to be riding with the ND8 installed on the DJI Action 5 Pro. Yeah, narrow roads like this, in confined spaces, the motion blur will be a lot more evident. That's why I took this road. Yeah, I hope that you'll be able to see. I hope that you are noticing the motion blur. Hello, welcome to the bike room. I really hope that you were able to see the difference of using the ND filters on action cameras. It not only gives you that smooth motion blur, it also reduces the sharpness of the images. That actually allows the images to look a lot more cinematic. Yeah, you would have noticed by now, it takes away a lot of that sharpness and makes it look smooth and easier on the eye. It's a little tricky to change the ND filters every now and then, because as the ambient light changes, you'll have to change the value of the NDs as well, neutral density as well. Now let's get into the audio. One thing I just wanted to tell you right off the bat, the Action 5 Pro, the inbuilt mic on this thing is impeccable. Like, even if you're just holding the camera like this and talking right into it, it picks up really good audio. But it does not work when you are motovlogging. There's a lot of wind blowing, so it's hard to get good quality audio from this in that sort of situation. So yeah, you have to find a solution for this. There is two ways how we can solve this issue. One is to connect the DJI Mic 2 to the DJI Action 5 Pro. So you just have to pick one of the receivers, the transmitters, and connect it to the DJI Action 5 Pro. That way it works. But I don't really want to use the transmitter inside the helmet. If it just falls off the helmet, I'm going to lose that. That's going to be a expensive loss. But it will be a lot more waterproof because you are not actually opening this door. So the camera actually stays waterproof. So even in the rain, you can record audio from the DJI Action 5 Pro. That is the advantage if you are using the DJI mic transmitter along with it. I use the old school method. I pop this door out like so that exposes the Type-C port. And what we're going to do here is to install this 3.5 mm adapter, DJI adapter, into that Type-C. So now there is a port on this adapter. You see that? That is a 3.5 mm connection jack. What I am going to do is to plug in the DJI Lav Mic into that adapter, and I get audio just like that. So this is a lot more reliable, I feel, because it does not work in battery. So that also means that you don't have to worry about that. It won't fall off suddenly. There's nothing to fall off actually. The only issue is that you can't really use this in the rain. I mean, I've actually used it in light rain, light showers. I've used it like this, but it's always a risk, right? Now let's come to the main camera, which is the Sony A7M4. All the settings are all the same. I shoot in 4K 30 FPS. One good thing about these full frame cameras, or the mirrorless cameras, even the crop sensor cameras, is that you can adjust the aperture also. When you have the option to adjust the aperture, you can adjust the light like that. So yes, there is an issue, like even if you're just going out in the bright sunlight, if you close the aperture f22 or something like that, you will lose out on the bokeh, the background blur. I am not ready to compromise. This is a ND filter from Freewell again. This is what I use on my main camera. This allows me to shoot outdoors with that motion blur, and also following the 180-degree rule, and also getting that smooth bokeh. So this is the one that I use. This is the Freewell variable ND filter. It is called a hybrid variable ND filter with the CPL functionality. So it has also got the circular polarizer built into it. It works on magnets, so it magnetically attaches to the main camera, the lens. So that is really nice. The only thing, it does not shift the colors all that much, but unlike in action cameras, if there is a color shift in the main camera, it is really easy to notice, and also it just creates this sort of vignetting. Sometimes both of these things, the color shift and the vignetting, are not really evident while using the Freewell VND filters, the hybrid VND filters. But this is something that I don't really like about this VND filter, is that these screws, man, these are the screws that you have to tighten in order to set the CPL value, right? Something that I don't really like about this, because you will lose it easily, because see, this is very tiny, and if you lose it somewhere on the ground, it's really hard to find it again. So they could have come up with something else, I felt, but otherwise a really good filter. It's also value for money. It's some of the cheapest filters out there, and it performs really good. Now with the production part behind us, we're going to talk about the post-production part of the workflow. We're going to talk about the editing softwares, the color grading, the different effects, and the export settings, all of these good stuff. So it is going to be a long video, so I really hope that you get something out of it. Without further ado, let's begin. Hello, welcome to my computer screen. DaVinci Resolve is the editing software I use to edit my videos. I used the Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro before, and I prefer the DaVinci Resolve over both of these softwares. This is the studio version. You can really use the free version, and it is really powerful. I would suggest you try the free version first and then only get the studio version if you want it. Let's create a new project here. This is the UI of the software. You can see a lot of panels down below, like the media, edit, cut, fusion, color, Fairlight and deliver. We are going to the media first, and we're going to import the clips that we shot. Let's do that first. Just for the demonstration purpose, I'm just going to import just one clip that we shot from the DJI Action 5 Pro. Now the frame rates are different here, so in case if you want to change the frame rate to the match the timeline, you can do that. Otherwise, just leave it like that. And then we're going to the edit page. We are going to create a new timeline. That is the first thing we have to do. And then we're gonna go to the format. This is the place where we actually decide in which resolution you want to edit the videos, either in 1080p full HD, or if your system is powerful, you can switch it to 4K as well. If you are editing the video for the Instagram, you can select 1080p and select the use the vertical resolution option there, and frame rate 30 is what I use. So once the timeline has been created, you can just drag and drop the clips that you want to edit, just like this. You can see the black bars on both the sides of the clip. That's because this clip has been shot in 4:3 aspect ratio. So I'm just going to rescale it just like that, and you'll have to do this on all the clips that you shot in 4:3, and you just basically tell a story here, like import all the clips and you edit. I'm not gonna go over all the small details in this video. That's not this video is all about. I'm just gonna show you the timeline of this particular video I just uploaded. There you go. It's a very simple timeline, basic effects and basic grades and everything. Then we're just going to go to the demo timeline, and I'm just going to show you the color grading part of it very quickly. So for that we have to go to the color grading tab. In this is shot in D-Log M. That is the reason why it is the colors look a bit washed out. Unfortunately, D-Log M does not have the right color space transform tool, so we can't really do that. We're gonna simply apply a LUT on top of it. The LUT is available in the DJI website. It is for you. It is free for you to download. I can give you a link to the website down below in the description. There you go. That's the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro LUT. I'm just going to double click on that, and as you can see, the colors came to life. As you can see, I've just converted the log footage into Rec 709. That's all I did. I've not done anything else on this video. So after this, you can actually color correct it and add a bit of LUTs, and on top of this, I'm not an expert in color grading. I'm only learning. Something that helps me make the color grade a lot more easier is the Dehancer Pro software, and there you go. You can see the result immediately. I'm just gonna disable all the effects for now. This is just to show you the different types of effects and looks that you can achieve by using the Dehancer Pro. It's a really handy tool to make your videos and films look a lot more better. Also, you can do all of the different types of audio effects and all here. On my voiceovers are most of them are recorded on my mobile phone. And just like that, we have come to the deliver page. This is where we export our video, our final video. So you can see the export settings. You can format, we can either go for the MP4 format or the QuickTime format. It depends. And also the H.264, also the H.265 works well. These are all the two codecs that I've used on my videos. And resolution, it's better to go for the timeline resolution. If it is 4K, just go for it. The frame rate is 30 is what I keep, so 30 is what I've given here. Quality settings are the most important. So what I do is that whatever the frame rate is, I double that, right? So since we are working with 30 frames per second, I've given the quality as 60,000, and yeah, it always worked for me. It is basically the bitrate we are talking about. The higher the number, the better the quality will be, but it also affects the actual file size also. So, and that's it. Add to queue and export the video. I really hope that you learned a thing or two from this video. Yeah. That's gonna be a long video. The intention was to make a simple video on ND filters, but just like my motorcycle rides, it took a different route and I ended up sharing my entire workflow. I really hope that it gave you some clarity. Keep riding, keep shooting, keep telling stories.